Up to this point, we've been building toward a simple but far-reaching picture. Entropy records the cost of change. Gradients give motion direction. Dissipation pays the price of stability. Together, these raise a final question. How does the universe keep track of all this without memory, intention, or design? The answer is quieter than we expect. The universe keeps score by never erasing the consequences of what has already happened. Every irreversible process leaves a trace. Energy spreads, heat escapes, differences flatten. Once that happens, the universe does not reset to a clean slate. It carries forward the altered conditions. That accumulation is the score. This is what entropy actually measures. It does not measure disorder in the everyday sense. It measures commitment. Each increase in entropy marks a change that cannot be undone without additional work. It is the universe marking which options are no longer available. Think about breaking a glass. The shards on the floor represent an increase in entropy, not because they look messy, but because the number of ways the system can be rearranged back into the original glass is vanishingly small without added energy, information, and effort. The universe remembers the break because the cost of reversing it is real. That memory is physical. Gradients are how that memory influences what happens next. Whenever a process occurs, it reshapes the landscape of differences. Temperature gradients, pressure gradients, chemical gradients, gravitational gradients, these are not just background features. They are the surviving imprints of past processes. Motion follows them because they encode where work has already been done and where it has not. A river follows an existing channel, not because it prefers that path, but because erosion has already lowered resistance there. A current flows along a conductor because previous charges established a pathway. A galaxy forms where matter has already begun to clump. History biases motion. This is how the universe remembers without storing symbols or records. It remembers by reshaping the terrain. Dissipation is how the score is written permanently. Any system that persists must export entropy. Stars radiate heat. Planets cool. Life sheds waste. Technologies release exhaust. This exported entropy does not disappear. It becomes part of the environment that future systems inherit. A star's radiation alters interstellar space. Biological activity reshapes atmospheres. Human technology changes planetary energy balance. The score is cumulative, not centralized. There is no master ledger because every interaction updates local conditions everywhere. This is why the universe does not need memory in the human sense. It does not need to remember events as stories. It remembers events as altered constraints. Once you see this, causality becomes clearer. Causes precede effects, not because time demands it, but because entropy gradients make reversal costly. The past is fixed because the universe has already paid for it. The future remains open because its costs have not yet been incurred. Time's arrow is not imposed. It emerges from bookkeeping. This also dissolves a common misconception that order or meaning requires intention. What we call meaning is often just persistence viewed across time. A pattern that lasts long enough becomes relevant. A structure that survives long enough begins shaping what comes next. No evaluation is required. No preference is expressed. Survival alone is enough. The universe does not select outcomes. It simply carries forward what remains. This is why collapse is not failure. When a structure can no longer pay its energetic cost, it dissolves. But its remnants, energy, matter, altered gradients, remain in play. Supernovae seed galaxies. Ecosystem collapse reshapes niches. Civilizations fall, but leave infrastructure, knowledge, and modified environments behind. Persistence continues through transformation. The universe never wipes the board clean. This is how complexity grows without design. Atoms persist, enabling molecules. Molecules persist, enabling chemistry. Chemistry persists, enabling life. Life persists, enabling culture and technology. At every step, most patterns fail. A few survive. The score accumulates. Nothing here requires foresight. Nothing requires a plan. Persistence is not permanence. It is continuity under cost. And that may be the most important insight of all. The universe does not ask what should exist. It does not aim for complexity or intelligence. It simply keeps track of what has already been paid for and allows only those patterns to shape the future. That is how the universe keeps score. My name is Charles Carroll. Thanks for taking the time to listen.